Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to the Q8 Pilot channel and another stream. Want to welcome Boeing Corp Bike from Logan, New Jersey. Welcome aboard Dougal McTavish, Stan, Carl, Direct to Simfly, Brian, Renan de Oliveira, Goal. Welcome, guys. Glad to have you here. Today we are doing our return flight from Sofia to Istanbul in Turkey. And we are flying no other than the best ever Embraer created for flight sim, the X-Crafts Embraer 1000, Lineage 1000. This is, in my opinion, the pinnacle of the X-Craft development fleet. It is by far the most detailed aircraft and one that flies like a real Embraer in a lot of respects. And it's got very accurate simulation of the aircraft systems and a very detailed passenger cabin with every little detail that you can think of, and individual and specific light controls for every single light aboard this aircraft. A very, very special aircraft by X-Craft. And of course, X-Craft is a company that needs no introduction when it comes to X-plane development. It is by far the very best experience that you can get flying an Embraer in a flight sim. The reason being not just the aircraft, but I think the aircraft, the company, the support that the company provides, and the overall leadership provided by Marco Mamila, the director of X-Craft. So today we are going to be taking this flight. By the way, today we are going to be using Elevatics. So very quickly, here's a look at Elevatics. And we are, you can see also the tracking bar on top of the stream today, again, powered by Elevatics, a totally freeware flight tracking software for flight simulation, which I highly recommend. It is really, truly an excellent flight tracking software, still in early stages of development, but nonetheless provides very robust features for flight tracking, including the tracker overlay that you see here on the screen today. Right, so our flight today here, going to Navigraph charts. You can see that we're going to be departing Sofia runway 27 through the DD2 Tango departure, and we're going to be cruising at a final cruise altitude of 31,000 feet. About 45 minutes later, arriving into Istanbul, Turkey, runway 17 left through the IT1 Romeo arrival, through the ITIC transition, a very Turkish name there for the transition. The Ataturk airport is our alternate, and with that out of the way, let's get the show underway, ladies and gents, and let's hop into the cockpit of the X-Crafts Lineage 1000. Right. Hello there, Samuel. Welcome, my friend. Hello, Thomas. Glad to have you here. And we have also Lumaka. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us this evening. Right. So first thing first, we are going to come to the electronic flight bag here, and we're going to remove the ground objects and the engine covers. And next we're going to go to, we need to change, all right, we need metric units. So we're going to change this to kilograms. And next we're going to go to the weight and balance and request the company load sheet. And as you can see here, we have Sofia to Istanbul, our payload and block fuel view load sheet. Everything here looks good. So let's load the plane, and you get that little bounce confirming that the aircraft has now been loaded. Perfect. We'll come back to the takeoff perf or performance a little later, but now let's get the aircraft powered up. So we're going to come here to the overhead panel, and we are going to turn battery 1 and battery 2. Sounds are a bit too low, I think. So let's add a little bit of sounds to the interior. We'll turn those down if they turn out to be too loud. And with that, with the 2 batteries on, CVR, this is again just a button here, that's no press there. Everything here is good. We'll come to this side here, and we're going to arm the emergency light. Non-smoking fasten seatbelt signs can go on. And let's cancel the master caution. And next we're going to come here and we're going to start the APU So first one here, and there we go. I think we need to wait a little for the APU. There we go. There we go. APU starting. Excellent. And next we can come here. Everything here looks good. We'll leave that alone. And hydraulic pump A is on. And everything else here is good. Perfect. We can do this test, by the way. But, you know, we skipped it. And you'll see the engine fire test there and cargo fire test all in one go. The Embraer, one of the nice things about the Embraer is how automated this aircraft is. It almost does the takeoff and landing. If this aircraft took off on its own, there is pretty much nothing that a pilot would need to do. Because it's just, everything is automated. A few buttons, a few clicks, and you're just ready to go. All right, so the aircraft is powered up. And let's take a quick look here. Looks like the APU has kicked in. Yep, 100% APU is available. And now we can start programming the FMS. So the first thing first, we're going to go to the route. Where is our route? There we go. RTE, and we're going to verify the navigation data. We have ARAC 2505, which is current. And of course, the company that supplies the ARAC for all Q8 pilot streams and videos is Navigraph. Right. We can go to RTE, and the origin airport is Sofia, LBSF, and the destination today is LTFM. We're going to put this here on the side, and let's key in LTFM. LTFM. We're going to take, of course, a look at the cabin a little later. And this is here. We have everything here. Good, good, excellent. Activate. And next we're going to go to the departure. The departure today is going to be runway 27, and the SID is the Diddy 2 Tango, which is this first one here. And we're going to say apply, and now we can enter the flight plan route. We can pop this out here and put it here and bring this to the side so we can see our flight plan. And as you can see here, after Didden, we're going to take Lima 614. So Lima 614 airway, and we're going to exit this airway at Gergi or Gergi. All right, G-E-R-G-I. Perfect. And next we are going to take Tango 391. Tango 391. And we're going to exit at iTech. iTech. It reminds me of a musician in Turkey with the name of Ayteç. Ayteç Dogan, I believe. Ayteç. Or Hayteç. Ayteç. All right. So there we go. iTech. Let's not get too carried away with that. And there we go. So now we have the flight route entered, and then we can have the arrival a little later. So activate. And now we have the active route into the FMS. Next, we're going to go to perf in. Alternate fuel is about, let's see, alternate fuel is 527 kilograms of fuel. And we're going to go to the next page. And the cruise altitude for our flight today is 31,000 feet, 310. The takeoff CG is available here. So that's your takeoff CG, 17.8. So 17.8. Nope, that's not it. 17.8. And we enter that here. Perfect. And the zero fuel is 33555. 33555. There we go. We have the zero fuel, and now we have also the gross weight calculated for us automatically. V Skycheck, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. Hello, Bill Helson, welcome. Hi, could you say what add-ons you use to get such beautiful picture? As a matter of fact, I don't use any add-ons whatsoever. This is default X-Plane 12, and that is testament that X-Plane is beautiful. All right, cruise went. let's see, the cruise winds are 270.32, 270.32, and we add that there. Perfect. And I think we're pretty much, 1 second here. Yeah. All right, so everything is good here. We're going to go to the next page. We'll leave our speeds as they are here. That's fine. Descent 280, 290, 270. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go to the takeoff data set, and we are going to note the temperature here. We'll leave everything here. Flex takeoff. Actually, let's turn that on, and we'll leave that as it is. FMS takeoff. Let me just double check one thing here. All right, so flex temp is 40, so we'll do a flex takeoff today, and then FMS takeoff. The condition is dry, and the winds currently here at Sofia is let's see, 290.18. Oof. 290, 18 knots. And that gives you the headwind, 17 headwind, and 6 knots crosswind, which is okay. And then we're going to go to the next page here. And everything, we're going to actually do flaps 1. So I'm going to come here and change that to flaps 1 and return. And then we'll go to takeoff. Now, for the speeds here, all we need to do is set things up over here. And then we use the data link. So we'll come over here. Let me put this away real quick. All right. And let me set up the view here for easier reference. There we go. Perfect. Bring this up a little bit. Now, we are going to go to takeoff performance. We are at Sofia. Departure runway is 27. Conditions are dry. The wind is 190.18. And the current temperature is 17 Celsius. Very nice. QNH. We better leave this on here. It's 10:14. All right, and it automatically detects that we've entered the QNH in hectopascal. That's pretty cool. The takeoff weight is automatically calculated. Thrust is takeoff 1, flaps 1. And we can now say compute. Analysis in progress, and it's doing its magic. And there we go. We have V1 at 118, V rotate 127, V2 at 134. Now, you can actually enter these values here, but the easier way to do this is go to data link, and you can say, just click here, send to FMS. You'll see now this is in green, and say load the takeoff speeds. And now if we go to perf, and we go to takeoff, you'll see that we have all the speeds automatically entered. We have a pitch trim of 1.5 up and a takeoff pitch of 11 degrees. Perfect. Next, we are actually going to go to landing. We don't need this one now, but we're going to go to descend, and we're going to select the arrival. And let's go ahead and enter the arrival information into Istanbul. So we're going to select our runway 17 left, which is this one here. And we're going to do the ILS Yankee 17 left. And next we are going to take a quick look here at our approach plate for 17 left. And we want the ILS Yankee. So we'll click that, and we'll see, you see that there is the FCR transition, which is the first one here, is the one we're going to select. And the star for the flight today is going to be the IT1 Romeo. IT1 Romeo is this one here. So we're going to select that, and we're going to say apply and activate. Perfect. Now we're going to go to the flight plan, and we're just going to make sure we don't have any discontinuities. And it looks like there is one discontinuity here. So we're going to select FCR and put it there, and then say activate. And then we have now no more. I think this is runway 17 left. So we are good here. Excellent. And now we can put this back on flight plan. Perfect. All right. So we can take a look here. We have now the profile. You can see the profile, and once we set the our altitude, you'll be able to see this. But let's go first to plan here, and you can actually take a look at the plan, and you can zoom in and out and cycle through using these knobs, two knobs. The upper knob here cycles through the actual route, and the bigger lower knob here zooms in and out of your flight plan. So this is just in case you're wondering how this is done. That's how it's done. Next, we are going to switch this back to map, and we need to grab our altimeter. So we are going to go back to Sofia and 1014. So let's set that, and we're going to make sure that this is in hectopascal, which it is. And we're going to set the altimeter to 1014. Perfect. Hello, Roland. Welcome aboard. Luca 1, glad to have you here with us. Claim the mid-lounge. Thanks. Do you know my NVIDIA control panel didn't let me change anything? It says, like, no permission. Oof. I really don't know about that. Yeah. Hello there, Cubbing Demon. Welcome. Sorry, I have to leave. Need to play with the grandchild. Thomas 13, please have fun. All right. So everything here is good. I'm going to set this to FMS speed. So you can have manual or FMS speed. That's one of the most recent changes, is the FMS speed is now programmed, and the auto tuning of the ILS. We're going to set the altitude to 31,000 feet. And that is now set, and we can already see the restrictions here at 23,000 feet. You can also notice that we have all our speeds already set, so we are pretty much ready to go. And the next thing we're going to do here, we don't need anything here. Everything's good here. Takeoff config. All right, so the aircraft is pretty much ready, but before we go and push out of our position, this aircraft is definitely an aircraft that is worth looking at its cabin. So let's go to the passenger cabin, and let's take a quick look here at the beautiful passenger cabin that has been recreated based on real-world footage of the Lineage 1000. Again, very nice. You can tell that this is a very fancy aircraft, very fancy jet. And it's got everything that you'll see on board the real aircraft. Very, very nicely done. You've got your bottles of champagne there to the left for celebrations. And you can see that, let me just go a little bit faster. And you can actually control all the lights on this aircraft. So you can see here, this is where you click to increase or decrease the lights, the ceiling lights. You can call here the cabin crew, and then you have all those TVs as well that will tell you the time, departure, destination, ground speed, and all that good stuff. And you have all the controls for every single light. You can actually go, if you go right here to this chair, for example, you can see that you can manipulate the lights here, so individually. So you can, adjust the lights here for this specific seat here, and then of course you can close the there, I think, right there you go. And let's just keep this open for fun. So overall, this Embraer by X-Crafts is by far the very best Embraer that you can find. The details are just really very, very well done by X-Crafts. Again, they've had access to a real Lineage 1000, and so they were able to recreate something that is very authentic and highly realistic. By the way, these lights you can also play with. You can close the doors. You can do all sorts of things here. You can manipulate the lights here. So very, very nice aircraft overall. I really, really recommend this aircraft. If you like flying Embraers, you really can't go wrong with the Lineage specifically. The Lineage version is, I think, the pinnacle of all the Embraers that we have seen in Flight Sim, whether it's FPS, whether it's Microsoft Flight Sim. This Lineage 1000 is, in my opinion, a must-have aircraft, and I stand behind this recommendation 100%. You will not regret buying this aircraft. And by the way, I did purchase the X-Crafts from the X-Plane org. Originally, when the aircraft was still in beta, it was provided to me for testing by the X-Craft team, but I have paid the full price for this aircraft. So again, I'm under no obligation to say anything that I am not, fully confident to say. So, with that said, and having looked at the passenger cabin, we'll take more maybe looks at the cabin a little later. But right now, let's go ahead and push out of our position, and let's go. All right, so plugins, better pushback, and start push.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
And that's exactly
Ground
where
to
I want to go.
cockpit, tow is driving up.
All right, the tow is driving up, and we're ready for engine start. Let's go ahead and turn on our beacon light. Red beacon is on, and everything else is set. Again, this scenery of Sofia Airport in Bulgaria is default X-Plane 12, so no add-ons, no scenery enhancement. This is a default airport that ships out of the box with X-Plane 12. Will you stream the Hot Start Challenger 650 in the near future? Yes, I am planning the Challenger 650 and the Fearless 747 in the very near future. Maybe it'll be like a Saturday or a Sunday stream. Entire Aegis family bundle is on sale on the org store for
Okay.
105
All doors
USD.
and
This
hatches
includes
are closed.
5
Ready to
aircrafts,
connect.
including the Lineage 1000. Not sure about individual pricing. Oh, thanks for pointing that out, Stan. If you don't want to spend that much money, I definitely recommend that you get the Lineage 1000. It's just the best. MN Sports Fan 88, welcome, my friend. Hello, Samuel. Glad to have you here with us this evening. All right, so are we ready to go? Did it say to release the parking brake? I'm not sure. All right, let me remove the armrest and release parking brake.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
All right, parking brake is already released, so...
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
All right, there we go. So we can start our engines here. Let's open the covers, and we'll start with engine number 2. Run, start, and there we go. We have a start here. Engine is spooling up. Very nice details. Again, look at those engines, guys. Very, very nice. You can see the APU heat blare from the back of the aircraft. And we have the engine number 2 now spooling. Look at the details on the wing here. Very nice details. Excellent sounds. Just really an aircraft that is really one of the best, really, for X-Plane. And as far as Embraers go, this is by far the very best Embraer that you can have for flight simulation. Right, we have a good start on engine number 2. Let's go ahead and start engine number 1. Right, engine number 1 is coming up. Excellent. We're going to reduce the range here. There we go. That's good. Excellent. I know that you guys don't like me to use the overlay for flight tracking, things like that, but in order to support the guys over at Helvetics, I thought it would be a good idea to show you, again, what it can do. It's got, by the way, also full integration with Twitch, so if you have a Twitch bot, you can use it for flight information during your streams. Hello, HD Sim. Welcome aboard. Hello, Rand Cooley. Welcome, my friend. Glad to have you here with us. Right. We have a good start on both engines, and we can now turn off the APU. Right, APU control, APU off. Excellent.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
All right, parking brake is set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
And auto brake to RTO. And we're going to go flaps 1. There you go. We have the flaps. Very nice indeed. You can see the rivets there. Very nice details on the wing. Very nice texturing. Excellent use of PBR materials. Very, very nice model. And by the way, the FSE Embraer, Flight Sim Studio Embraer, the model is based on this model. So the guys over at X-Crafts were kind enough to provide them with the model for them to develop the FSE for Microsoft Flight Sim.
Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
All right, so have a safe flight. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And the APU is being powered down, as you can see here. So once that goes to 0, we'll see that this message is gone. So we'll just take a look here. 2%, 1%, and then this should go away. We're going to start the clock here on this side. And now the APU is off. Perfect. Let's turn on the taxi lights. So taxi lights there. No, we don't want logo. We want taxi lights only. All right. And now you can see that the APU, once I think this goes to 0, this message will go away. Right. Everything is ready here. And we are good to go. So let's release the parking brake and head over to the runway. Now, for takeoff, the only thing we're going to need to do, I think you don't even need to do the flight director, but we'll click the flight director and the auto throttle, and that's pretty much it. The only thing now that we need to do is we need to hit this little button here once we have the takeoff thrust set, and from that point forward, it's just the autopilot until we arrive into our destination. Highly automated aircraft. Okay. So this is set to FMS, and the speed is also set to FMS speed, and we are good to go. Hello, Benny. Benny, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here with us. All right. You have the takeoff config button too. Yeah. All right. Parking brake is released, and off we go. Look at the lights. Very, very nice. Maybe the exterior sounds a bit too loud, so we'll lower those a little bit. Very, very nice aircraft. Nice wing flex as well. Let's get back here into the cockpit view. Again, you can notice the beautiful texturing on the panel there. Very nicely done by X-Crafts. We're going to make a right turn, taxi on hotel to runway 27. All right, taxiway hotel. And there we go. It's going to be a bit of a long taxi there to the runway. Really, X-Crafts is a company that has really set itself apart from the rest of the competition by being, one, very transparent, being very engaging with their customers. And Marco is such a great guy, the guy behind the company. And he's really, truly a leader, and has really built a product that can really bring not just enjoyment to us flight simmers, but also brings in a lot of informative, if you will, an informative add-on, an add-on that you can fly to learn the Embraer. This comes with extensive documentation, with extensive tutorials, a beautiful website that is not just for looks, but actually delivers a message and delivers a lot of valuable information for those of you who are interested in knowing more about the Embraer and how the Embraer operates in real life. All right, there we go. Let's try to keep it straight. Okay, very nice default scenery in X-Plane. I mean, this is default scenery. There's no add-ons. Again, nothing. I don't use anything. And here's a look on the other side. Again, our rotation speed is 127 knots, as you can see right here, 127. Everything is set and ready to go. I'm going to come over here, and we're going to go to radio, and let's put this on TARA, and put this back on flight plan. All right, so we have the TCAS set. Perfect. They don't fall out multiple times right after takeoff, does it? Do you use VATSIM with any of your flights? I do not use VATSIM. When I'm online, I use IVAO, and recently I've been using Say Intentions a lot more, simply because it offers 24/7 worldwide coverage. So you'll have ATC everywhere. You don't have to wait for controllers to be there. So it does offer a lot in terms of coverage, and it works very well, and almost nearly human. That's the word. All right, so we are here at runway 27 and ready for takeoff. So we are going to turn on our landing lights, strobe light on. We're going to turn off the taxi lights, and we're good to go. Here, let's give it a little power. What do you guys think of this beautiful plane? Just gorgeous. All right. Right, we're cleared for takeoff. The sun is quite bright, and it's right in our face. Alrighty. Okay, we are good to go, folks. And let's hit that thing here. There we go, takeoff. .124 is our rotation speed. V1, rotate. V2. And positive rate of climb. Gears going up. What a beautiful departure here from Sofia. All right, here we go. Let's begin our turn.
Bank angle, bank angle.
Oop, sorry about that. All right, there we go. And autopilot. And that's all we need to do for the time being. Let's go and retract the flaps. Flaps up. And you'll see the speed here changing with the flight change and LNAV enabled. And the aircraft now will basically fly the entire flight route, manage all the restrictions and the descent all the way to Istanbul, I believe the transition altitude in Sofia is 5,000 feet, so let's set the barrel to standard. And you can see auto brake automatically off. Everything here is good. What a lovely looking aircraft. Bye, Q8 and chat. I have to get back to my flight. I'm flying from London in the Tolos A320neo. Well, have a safe flight. Enjoy. All right, let me reduce the sounds in the cockpit. There we go. I think that's better. There we go. And 250 under 10,000 feet. I love the VNAV and LNAV on this aircraft. It's excellent. All right, 900,000. Landing lights are off. And we'll release the cabin crew there. They can start serving our customers. And we'll actually turn off the fasten seatbelt sign as well. So the LNAV and VNAV calculations on this Embraer is done to perfection. Very, very well done, really. And in all the flights, by the way, fully RNAV capable. If you like to really put the aircraft to the test for RNAV approaches, I highly recommend some routes in Brazil. This aircraft is very, very capable. Works exactly as it should. In real life, really an excellent aircraft. It's one aircraft that I really enjoy. Now there are, of course, the 170, 175, 190, and the Lineage 1000. And like I said in the beginning, if you do not want to invest in the entire fleet of X-Crafts and you're not surely which one to get, I highly recommend that you go with the Lineage 1000, simply because this aircraft is a long-range aircraft. You can fly it for short routes, long routes. It's got a beautiful cabin that you can enjoy and sit back and relax in the back, or maybe take a nap if you like. Now, if you've been following the channel long enough, you'll know that I'm not really a big fan of passenger cabins, but this cabin I really like looking at. It's very detailed. So. It must to reverse idle after nose down, or can you do it as soon as touchdown? I think you can do it as soon as touchdown. The one thing I'm not sure about in this aircraft is, do you disengage the auto throttle like at 1,000 feet, or do you leave it on until you actually touch down? That's one thing I really am not very sure about. Lineage 1000 or the Embraer 190? Well, I'd go for the Lineage, if you ask me. Same thing happened to me. There are a couple of YouTube videos that might be able to help with a fix. I'm not sure really what the difference with the Lineage 2. Hello there, Matt. My Honeycomb Bravo gear and flap switch failed. The throttles work, but some other buttons no longer function. Going to try another USB port, but suspect it's a hardware issue. Matt, it is a hardware issue. I've had a very similar problem to that, and it turns out to be a hardware issue. Yeah, I've had that issue before. Right, 18,431. Everything's looking fantastic, and you can see the beautiful clouds in the distance. X-Plane 12.2.0 Beta 6, ladies and gents. And here's again a look. My earlier test flight was a bit nicer in terms of the clouds, but again, you can see the cloud scattering is very nice. The artifacts that we saw in Beta 5 are almost gone. They are still, you can still see them in certain situations, but this is a known issue acknowledged by Laminar Research. And yeah, here, let's do a flyby. Nice swing flex as well. All right, so I posted a question for you guys to let me know whether you like the Helvetics overlay. I really am. This is the very first time that I use a Q&A. And if you like it, then we'll use it in other streams. I don't think this is what this is for, but yeah, I just wanted to try it. I've never tried the Q&A, so... I'm liking beta 6 with beta 5. I was getting many hard crashes, and that would disable my... Yeah, beta 5 had a lot of issues. I agree. I never had any crashes. I had maybe one. But yeah, it was very problematic in terms of performance. Yeah, I like Helvetics. I like it too. Perfect. Yeah, it's nice. All right, perfect, guys. If you guys like it, and you want me to continue to use it, I will do a community poll maybe after the stream and see if you guys like it, then we will continue to use it. Got the Lineage 1000 Saturday. I like the aircraft a lot. I'm not surprised that you like it a lot, because I do too. Helvetics does look very promising, and guys, please, if you're doing flight simming of any sort, please help the developers over at Helvetics. It's free of charge. It's very promising. It's got a very slick user interface. Again, here's a look at Helvetics for you guys, as you can see here. And we can probably go to our flights. Let me see here. Let's go to the map. And we want to focus. So there we are. Okay, so... there we are. This is Sofia. This is us right there. You can see that's us right there. It's got the weather there. It's got really nice features. I'm not sure why I didn't grab the flight number for our flight today. But it's got everything here. So why is it not screenshots and what have you? Route overview. So here's our route overview. You can see this is the top of climb. And the top of descent, I think it's calculated somewhere after, shown after we pass top of climb. So yeah, it's really got some really nice features. So again, highly recommend it. Please download it, guys, and help the developers I think if nothing, you will motivate them to continue the development. So please do download it. Go to the Discord, join their Discord. There's a ton of helpful lads there over at the Discord server. Yeah, tell them Q8 Pilot sent you. Is Helvetics like Volanta? Yes, it is like Volanta, but Volanta has some features that are not available yet in Helvetics. I don't know if ever, but for example, one of the things I really like in Volanta is the real-world updated schedules. So something I really like in Volanta. Q8, can you show the lights working in a passenger seat like you pointed out earlier? Because you did not show the lights working, but only pointed out the control buttons. Well, right now it's daylight, so it will be very difficult to see that. Let me see if I can. All right, so we can see this light here. Let me go up. We can do it maybe after stream. After we land, beg your pardon, and I can show you how it works. Where's the control for this one? I'm not sure. All right, let me go to another light. Let's see, maybe this one here. There we go. All right. So if we go to this light here, and we turn it completely off. So let's go to minus. All right. So now this is off. And if I go up, you can see that the light is off. And if I turn it back on, you see now that the light is back on, right? So this is going to be a lot better when during nighttime. So what we'll do after landing is we will change the time of the day, and we'll play around with the lighting in the cabin. How about that? Hello, Mr. Valera. Welcome aboard. Mr. Stefanos, welcome. Glad to have you with us this evening. The overlay looks good, but the text could be slightly smaller. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Was playing with the buttons, did not know what it was. Thanks, Q8. You can also turn the lights ISO, right? Yes, you can. All the lights can be turned on. We'll take a look at that once we land, guys. Hello, Seitoga. Welcome. What is your view on the standing seats? Standing seats. Where are the standing seats? Is the door locked? Ah, there we go. All right, let's see. Where is the standing seat? I really am not sure what you mean by the standing seat, but here's the cabin. And very comfortable sofa here. And we've got the information there. You can click here, by the way, on Abby tab, which is pretty cool. There we go. And here's the information. This is our speed, current altitude. This is where we're going, where we departed from. Looks pretty nice. Direction of the travel. Very nice. You can see the lights there as well. So those also can be managed, by the way. We'll take a look more at the lights once we are at our destination. Right, if I increase the range here, all right, so we can see already here in the profile. Let me see here if we can, yeah, we can make this a little bigger. Let me move this and let's make it bigger. I love how this works. All right, so if you notice here, you have the full profile and you know exactly where the top of descent is going to start. And you can see it also marked here now in your display. You can also have your systems, so you can click here on the flight control, hydraulics, fuel, electrical, ECS, NTIs. Those seems to be in up at this time. This is our plan, again, very detailed. And there we go. Okay, so you don't need to do anything for the ILS, so it will set it automatically. It will set the course automatically. So if you go here to radio, let's go to authentic here, make this a little bigger. And if you go to the radio right here, you'll see that the nav, this is the actually 1111.595 is the frequency for our runway, arrival runway. So it's automatically tuned in this version of X-Craft, which again is exactly how it is in real life. Not that much to go for top of descent, so we're going to take a note of our platform altitude, which in this case is 5,000 feet. So I'm going to reset the altitude here to 5,000 feet, and the aircraft will begin the automatic descent, and it will manage the speed beautifully. And it will also manage all the restrictions, if any, along the route to Istanbul. Looks like we're having some turbulence here. Hopefully nothing too serious. But since we're having some turbulence, let's turn on the fasten seatbelt signs. Just some opinion I've heard, mostly AP and other systems misbehaving. Happy to hear that they're working fine. They are working just fine. At least for me, they are. Hello, Michael Allen. By the way, you can use the scroll wheel to make the screen bigger. Oh, thanks for that. Appreciate it. Hello, Jordan. How do you get your anti-aliasing to look that good? Well, I'll show you my X-Plane settings here real quick. Here is the graphics. So I have the anisotropic filtering at 16 for XMSAA. Texture resolution is maximum. Ambient occlusion quality, ultra. This is basically, I've been using these settings forever and ever. So, yeah, they work pretty well. And on a 2K screen, looks pretty good. I don't doubt that. I think I'll go for the A321 first, as I'm seriously craving an Airbus. but the Embraers are on my list. Well, if you're going to go with an Airbus, I highly recommend Tolus aircraft. Any of their aircraft is excellent. The A340 is probably the odd one out, if you ask me, being a 4-engine plane. But all Tolus aircrafts are excellent, and they are very in-depth in terms of the system simulation. So highly, highly recommended. All right, let's do that. We can see top of descent on our screen, and we can already see the restriction, flight level 290. Speed is 290, and we'll maintain this on cruise. All of these values, by the way, you can change in the FMS. So you can change your cruise, your climb, and your descent. Our descent is going, yeah, I keep getting this. Where is this? Oxonus, LBWN. I need to remove this. So yeah, you can manage your climb speed, descent, and cruise speed from the FMS. I've left everything exactly as it is. Yes, Airbus are using Tolus for various parts of their training, I suppose. So Airbus is now a Tolus customer. They are excellent, yeah. The 321 with the Neo expansion is absolutely marvelous, yes. 320 with Cos Neo perhaps later on. Yeah, but they will complete the package, that's for sure. X-Plane 12 physics camera feels so good when taxiing on the ground. Yes, it does, Max, nicely. And I love it even up in the air in a general aviation aircraft. It's not as good for airliners or big airplanes, but I hope that will come. I think it's pretty much the same for all the aircraft. Doesn't really change that much. So I hope that Laminar would build profiles or allow the community to develop different profiles of their physics-based camera for different airliners or bigger planes. But for GA, it is just, 100%. It's just really top-notch. My favorite airplane for Challenger on 1, then the 777 by Flight Factor. And number 3, the Lineage 1000. That's a pretty nice combination there. Yeah. I will probably have a few more aircraft before the Lineage because I do like the Dash 8 more than the Embraer, and I probably like it more than Challenger too. So yeah, it is one of my absolute favorites by Fly Jason. Again, excellent rendition of the Dash 8 Q400 for X-Plane 12. Okay, so if we come to, let's see here, Brady, why is this showing strange, huh? Right, let's see what's happening. Why is this switching? I think it's, if I change it here, changes here, but if I pop this out, it pops this one. That's strange, isn't it? Yeah, all right. You can see now that we have the diamonds here, and this is just to indicate we're nearing top of descent, so VNAV will activate in a minute, and as you're going to see the diamond moving down here as we get closer to top of descent, and the aircraft will essentially begin descending automatically. Again, I haven't done anything, haven't pressed anything, everything is automatic on the Embraer, so the only thing you need to do is now watch the aircraft descend and monitor the aircraft systems. I'm going to reduce the interior sounds a little bit here. I think maybe they're too loud. I don't know if they're too loud for you guys, but they're kind of all right. Now you can see that little diamond here. All right. There you go. You can see that here. And once it gets there, you can see now LNAV path. And this is, by the way, exactly like it is in the real plane. So again, there's a lot of work that has gone into programming this Embraer and to get LNAV and VNAV to function correctly with very accurate calculations. All right, so now we need to do a few things. We need to configure our aircraft for landing. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put this away. All right, let's put this away. And we're going to take a note of the planned fuel or the trip fuel. Okay, so if we go here and take a look at the trip fuel, you'll see that it's 1,630. And if I come to weight and balance, and the takeoff fuel is 37632. So if I deduct 1,600 kilos from that, we'll end up with the takeoff weight will end up with 36,032. So we'll say 36,000. So we're going to go to landing performance. We are arriving into 17 left. Conditions are more than likely dry, but let's take a quick look here. So the weather information, scattered clouds, there's no rain. All right, so perfect. So we do need the winds. So let me bring that over here. So the current wind is 2026, 2020, and 6. There we go. The current temperature is 19. Very pleasant. QNH is 1012. And the landing weight now is going to be the takeoff weight minus the fuel that we burn until we get there. So that is going to be approximately 36,000. That's going to be our landing weight. So we'll put 36,000. And was it 36 weight and balance? 37, yeah. So landing weight is 36, and now we're going to say enter that. We're going to do flaps full, and reversers all operational. Icing conditions no, and let's compute. Analysis in progress, and now we have our speeds. VAP is 119, VRF is 114, and we are flaps forward. No. Okay, so we need flaps full. Okay, so that's for flaps full. Okay, that's the go-around data right there. And now what we can do is we can come here and say send to FMS. And if we come to the data link, you'll see now the load landing V-speeds is highlighted in green. So we're going to click on that. And now if we go to perf and we go to landing, you'll see that the landing speeds are there with the landing flaps selected as full. All right, and this is all we need to do. The aircraft is now fully configured for our arrival into Istanbul, and we are currently descending at 26 for 5,000. And a good idea to take a quick look here at our star. And let's see here. Airport elevation is 325, and I think the transition altitude is 11,000 feet. And also we need, we need, let's go back here, LTFM, 17 left Yankee. Right. And let's see here. 75. 50. All right. So, radio, there, right. Okay, perfect. And we'll set this to 50. Perfect. And that is now set. And we are now pretty much ready for the arrival into Istanbul. Perfect. Hey, Q8 pilot, hope all is well. I'm having elevation issues with ortho. Any advice? X-Crafts growing strong as usual. I'm not sure if you can add a little bit more information into the Q8 pilot Discord. Maybe I can help you, or maybe someone else can. Ladies and gents, X-Crafts is in the house. Can't wait to release those. They are super fun, like sports cars, and very much hands-on. I'm also working on a presentation I'll have at FS Expo with the title, Why Do Many Flight Sim Businesses Fail? So I hope to see many of you there. This will be my first, anyone going. I'm not going, unfortunately, X-Crafts, but I'm very glad that you are going. It should provide good exposure for you. And guys, yeah, if you see X-Crafts there, be sure to go and say hello to Marco, the director of X-Crafts, a fine gentleman, and he is the brain behind those Embraers. So be sure to go and say hello. Well, seen X-Crafts in the chat and had a quick discussion while you were busy preparing the approach. Oh. Guatemala captain, safe landings. Hello, my friend. Welcome from Guatemala. Looking forward to seeing you in Providence. Yeah, Stan is going. Yeah, I'm jealous, Stan. My wingman in FS Expo 2023. Very, very fond memories. And I still, by the way, the seeds that you gave me, Stan, I did plant those flowers in the backyard. And they did come out. They were beautiful. Unfortunately, the summer in Kuwait, you know how hot it is, right, guys? I mean, right now it's reaching 50 Celsius and we're still in May. In July and August, I think this year it's going to go to the 60s range probably. I hope that we don't melt, but yeah, it's very, very hot in Kuwait. I'll send photos. Yeah, I really am looking forward to that. This aircraft looking amazing. Absolutely, absolutely. This is, I don't often say this. There are very few aircraft that have earned a Q8 pilot recommendation that goes something like this. This is a must-have aircraft for flight sim, and this is one of them. And there's very few aircraft that I say this about. This is really, if you are looking for an Embraer experience, if you're looking for a great company to support you, if you're looking for a company that has a ton of information about this aircraft, a tutorial flights, then this aircraft, you'll never go wrong with the X-Craft. My recommendation of all the fleet, this is my absolute favorite. The Lineage 1000 is my absolute favorite Embraer, period. I'm really looking forward to the hold function. These amazing aircraft deserve it. Thank you, Marco X-Craft. Yeah. Definitely. I melt at 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, X-Craft, you guys really deserve all the commendation. You deserve all the love from the community for everything that you have been doing. And I think if you ask me, by the way, about the price of the X-Craft aircraft, considering the amount of work, considering the dedication, the tenacity, the information, and how active X-Craft is constantly. They send their newsletters. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to their newsletter. Marco always has something interesting to say, sometimes not even related to flight sim, but I enjoy reading through the newsletters that X-Craft sends out. So yeah, you get your hands on this aircraft. You'll thoroughly enjoy it. I will definitely say hi to Marco. I support and fly all his products on a regular basis. Excellent HD Sim. Thank you very much for that. I'm sure that Mark will be very happy to hear that. Let's do a quick flyby here. Yeah, look at those strobe lights, guys. Just beautiful aircraft. It has a... it looks as if it's a hybrid between an Airbus and a Boeing. It's really nice aircraft. Again, I think you can see the artifacts there in Beta 6 still there, but they're not as bad as Beta 5. So, yeah. Right. So if we look here, so far so good. 17,000 for 5,000. I'm sure there will be some restrictions along the way. If you look at our path, it's a long path here. But if you look here, we definitely have above 12 and below 14. So definitely we do have some restrictions there. Marco, I had one question. On the Embraer, on final approach, do you disconnect the auto throttle, or do you leave the auto throttle on and it will automatically disconnect once you actually touch down? That's one thing I always wondered about. Hello there, Sergio. Welcome aboard. They send weekly flight plans too. Yes, correct. That is correct. Big OEF. I'm not sure what OEF is. You need beefy PC, I suppose, with the 5090. No. You don't need that. Not for the X-Craft. No, for sure not. No, AT will automatically disconnect, but you should pull your throttles back to idle manually. Gotcha. All right, perfect. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And of course, Carl, being the type-rated pilot and our reference always for a ton of aircraft, confirms that confirms that the auto throttle will disconnect automatically. Cool. Again, this aircraft is just fully automated. You don't really need to do anything. It will just do everything for you. The only thing that it doesn't do, it doesn't take off on its own. But everything else pretty much, and it doesn't taxi on its own. But aside from that, it does everything automatically. And this is, by the way, a true-to-life representation of the Embraer. Very nice clouds there. Look at that. Absolutely lovely clouds. Look at that. Look at the details under the wing, guys. Wow. Wow, just beautiful. Look at those clouds. Beautiful, beautiful rendition of the Lineage 1000. Gotta love it. I think you could give yourself a direct, given the path that you're about to fly. We could, yeah, we could do that. Because if you look at the plan, here, let me show you something here. All right, so we are going to make a turn, come back here, fly all the way here, and then make the turn to runway 17 left at Istanbul. But you know, we'll just leave it. We'll just leave it and enjoy the beautiful clouds. I think it'll be even nicer once we are below the clouds. There comes our turn. I believe there is a restriction at 9,000. The sun is really rendered very, very well in this version of X-Plane, without a doubt. The lighting overall is just fantastic. Very, very nice. Going to sunset now could be well worth it. Yeah. Didn't you want to play with the lighting a bit? We will do that once we land. So once we are, if we do it now, you wouldn't really be able to see the replay. So the replay is going to be very dark. So yeah, we'll once we land, we will turn on the lights and we'll go to the cabin. We'll play with the lights a little bit and have fun with that. I'll show you what it does. So we are at 11,000, and as you can see here now, we have a restriction at 9,000. You see the lines above and below. It means you should be exactly at 9,000. All right, landing lights coming on, and fasten seatbelt signs, non-smoking signs are on, and yeah, I promise you that we will play with the lights once we arrive. All right, perfect. Captain, are you on VATSIM or IVAO? I'm on neither today. I'm using non-interactive ATC provided by Stick and Rudder Studios through their plugin ATC Chatter for X-Plane 12. That's the background radios that you hear. Just bought the full pack with the ERJ. You definitely convinced me. Cheers. Well, have fun. And I'm sure that you will not regret this decision. You will have immense fun flying the E-Jets. I believe that the Q8 doesn't like flying on VATSIM, though I don't remember why. I'm not going to discuss it here, but you are right, yeah. Hey, Raul, how are you, my friend? Welcome. I use X-Plane the most, then MSFS. I have P3D for Concorde and the Majestic installed. Oh, wow, really? Someone's still flying P3D. That's really good to know. So they do still have some fan base. I do have the license for version 6, so the latest version. But I honestly, after I installed it and played around with it a little bit, I uninstalled it and never went back to it. Yes, the Concorde in X-Plane by Kolimata is actually one of the better aircraft in X-Plane. In my last top 10 video that I've done for X-Plane airliners, the Concorde came in position number 10. So it is, I haven't done a top 10 video in a very, very long time. And if you guys are interested in that, yeah, you can definitely let me know, and I'll see what I can do. But yeah, it is definitely a very fine plane, very fine plane. One of the things you'll notice when you fly the Embraer is how accurate the LNAV and VNAV calculations are, and how the displays here are extremely accurate. I've watched a video on a real Embraer. It wasn't a Lineage though, it was I believe a E170 or 175. And what you see here is pretty much what you'll see on the real aircraft. All the little blinks, how the speed changes when you see the flight change, the FMAs, everything is just done to perfection. Really, they really taken their time to create a very, very detailed aircraft. All right. 900,000. Again, we will begin the... we can, by the way, take a look here at the course will be set also automatically. So you have 173 is the course. And if you look here on the approach plate, you'll see that 173 is the final approach course. So it will set the course, it will set the ILS frequency. Everything is just automated with the Embraer. Very nice aircraft. What is the status of Terminal 2 in Kuwait? Well, it's due to open in... the new airport is due to open the end of this year. So we are approximately 4 months away, not more than that, 6 months away from the end of the year. So hopefully by then we'll have the new airport, which I'm absolutely looking forward to. All right, if we... Okay, let me change the view here a little bit. So I just want you to see the profile. Okay, so you can see now here in the profile, after Foxtrot Mike 815, we will begin the descent again. And you will see how the aircraft, it will manage, again, LNAV will manage the speed all the way to landing. So again, at this point, the only thing we need to do is set the baro, I think we can set the barrow, by the way, but we'll wait for the aircraft to begin the descent. I think it's 11,000, but that's okay. Let's just make sure that it's 1012. Okay. So we'll set that as soon as we begin the descent. And you can see it here in the profile. This is where we are. This is where I love this little profile here that shows, you know, the restrictions. It shows the top of descent, top of climb. So yeah, we're doing really well right now. And if guys, of course, if you are enjoying the stream, I would be very grateful if you can get us to at least 138 likes. It really does help the channel quite a bit. And if you can also do me a huge favor and download Helvetics for your flight tracking and join their Discord. I think they deserve really all the support and love as well. All right, here we go. Again, we have the restriction until Foxtrot Mike 814, and then we can begin the descent to 5,000. Boeing Corp Mike, everyone I know that has the P180 loves it, for sure. I've already watched a shared cockpit stream between Jeff Faviano and Captain Canada, but never had such a stream between you and Captain Canada. Would be awesome if you could make it happen. Well, I will definitely reach to Kyle, and maybe we can have something planned. It will be only my honor to fly with Captain Canada, one of the most respected in the content creation business for flight sim. Has anyone tested the ERJ on X-Plane 12? I have not. I have the ERJ, but I haven't tried them yet. Ah, I see. Right, so we should begin the descent now. And if I add a little bit here. Yeah, we're almost there now, folks. We still have we have sufficient distance to descend to the required altitude. We are now flying in Turkish airspace. And we can see that we're going to begin the descent shortly from 900,000 to 5,000, which is our platform altitude. X-Craft is working on the version 2 of the ERJ. Said it's going to be a $15 to $20 upgrade. That's not bad. What is the most serious emergency case you had in real life? Oh, you mean for me on an airplane, you mean? Or do you mean like a serious emergency, like generally speaking? Almost crashed at Juneau by a wind shear on takeoff. Drove from 25 to 500. Oof. Well, for me, a plane, yeah, all right. So for me, the worst ever incident was engine fire on takeoff. And I believe it was, I think it was Alitalia, if I'm not mistaken. That was a very long time ago. But yeah, there was an engine fire on takeoff, and we had to do a rejected takeoff, and then we were cleared, taken back to the terminal. I can't remember which year was that, but I remember I was very young. And I just walked out like, you know, nothing happened. And I was really worried about my, like, you know, any teenager, I was really worried about my luggage because I had, you know, I had some videos. If you guys recall, you know, I'm from the VHS and Betamax, you know, generation. So I used to watch videos on those big tapes, the black ones. So I was worried because I had some movies with me and some things that I brought from, you know, home to, and I really was worried that, you know, I won't get them. And of course, my clothing as well. So I was really worried about my stuff. But I just walked out. Well, yeah, engine fire. Okay, so what's the big deal? They'll just get us another plane and we'll just go. Thankfully, we're at 2,500. I recently watched one with a 727 that also had wind shear on takeoff and couldn't make it. Oh, that's very sad. For the liveries, if you're looking at the X-Craft liveries, you can just type on Google, just type X-Crafts liveries, and you'll get a ton of those. I did a tactical descent in Afghanistan. That didn't go too well. Thankfully, the C-130 landing gear are pretty much bomb-proof. Oof. That must have been a scary experience there. All right. So you can see now that we have begun the descent once again from 900,000 to 5,000. I'm not sure if there are any more restrictions along the way, but it looks like there is a restriction here at Insta, where we need to be below 5,000 and above 4,000. So a double restriction there. But things are looking good. Our descent is fine. It looks like it is raining slightly in Istanbul. I didn't see that in the Matar though. Why is it raining in the sim? It does. Look, the conditions have changed. So X-Plane is reporting proper weather here. Look at that. Light showers of rain. We didn't have that earlier, but now it looks like things have changed slightly. So X-Plane is giving us the right weather. Wow, I'm pretty happy about that. So there are slight rain in the area. Look at those strobe lights, guys. Just gorgeous. It's going to be a very nice approach for runway 17 at Istanbul. Very, very nice. And you'll see why once we get closer to the airport. I love everyone in chat. So much knowledge. And we love you, Doug. And thank you guys really for being here. You really do make the chat area on the channel a very valuable place for people to share their experience, share their knowledge. I definitely learn a lot from you guys. So thank you all really for the support. For being here and for all the knowledge that you share. And this is really the motto of the channel, sharing your passion for flight. So, yeah, sharing the knowledge is something I just love. And I really thank you very much, guys. Really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to each and every one of you. We need to filter the last one. I was in a cargo, configured 37 too. Have had a 400. Wow, you guys seem to all have had experiences. You're setting Cat 3 RA minima if you're shooting a Cat 1 approach. I don't think it's a Cat 1 approach, is it? I don't think it's a Cat 1. Is it a Cat 1 approach? Cat 3. Yeah, I think we're fine. All right, here's 5,000. So this is there is a restriction there. So we can actually go to. You have the restriction here at 5,000. So we're going to keep 5,000 here. You can see the speed is already going down. And again, I haven't done anything. The FMS is really managing everything at this point. Landed once with Storm at Eham. It was very spicy, to say the least. I love some of the comments that you guys make. It's really pretty funny. Rich Miller, how are you, my friend? Is this Lineage and the E190 of similar fidelity? So the E90 from X-Craft and this Lineage are of the same fidelity, yes. But this one has a very detailed business jet cabin. So this is designed for very rich business executives, a very expensive travel. So, North Gaming, welcome to Captain. Thank you very much, sir, for the support. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. That's very, very generous of you. Thank you, sir. Also, the Lineage can fly across the pond. Yes, again, long-range aircraft. Are you planning to do the 737 type rating after retirement? Absolutely. If so, will you be looking at doing real-life chartered flying? I might. I really don't know what I'm going to do at this point with the type rating, but it's something I really want to do. Okay. Let me take a quick look here. Let's see. All right. So we can see now the glide slope and localizer needles showing here. And what we can do at this point, let me go down here. It says activate approach speeds. By the way, you can activate them now. But what we'll do is we are going to go to, where is it? There we go. Approach. And now you'll see localizer and glide slope active here. You can see that. And immediately once the localizer is captured, you will see that this, there you go. Now the localizer is captured. You can see it active here. And the aircraft is now doing its thing. There we go. Speed is now going to 205, and we actually can go to flaps 1. If you look here at the flap extended speeds, we can go to flaps 1 all the way to 230, so we can actually go to flaps 2 if we wanted. Yeah, well, let's go to flaps 1 and flaps 2. All right, and this will take us down to 160 knots. Glide slope active. You can see the runway in sight there. And we are here, so we can actually lower the landing gear now. All right, here we go. Landing gear is coming down. Auto brake, medium. And landing gear in position. And look at this beautiful approach here into Istanbul. All right. So the only thing we'll do at 1,000 feet is we are going to disconnect the autopilot. We'll leave the auto throttle, and we will continue the descent. And the auto throttle should then... let me just bring my throttles back a little bit here. All right, so runway in sight. We are clear to land. Runway 17 left. Sky is looking beautiful. You can see all the cargo ships right there as well. Looking good. Speed check. And flaps 3. We have the runway in sight. I'll give you more screenshot. I'll give you more external views in just a minute here. And of course, we're going to do a replay as well. Speed check and flaps 4. And 2 notch of flaps remaining. Let's just give it some time here. 140. We're looking good. Thank you very much, Air Kruger 001. Appreciate it. There again, you can see all the boats there. These guys are having a field day looking at all these beautiful planes landing at Istanbul. Speed check, flaps 5. And speed check, flaps full. All right, let's take a look here. And you can see the beautiful boats there around Istanbul. You can see those cargo ships as well. Very, very nice. It looks like a speedboat there. Look at that, guys. Look at how beautiful this aircraft is. Not sure you got the master caution there. Looking good. At 1,000 feet, we will disconnect and manually land the plane. That's 17 left in sight. You can see flaps full. Perfect. Let me reset my view. All right, and we are clear to land. The scenery of Istanbul is that of Aerosoft. Not a very good scenery in my opinion, but if you're, if you like to have a payware or something other than default, then yeah, it's the only available airport for X-Plane. Okay, so we're almost there now, folks, and let's get ready here. And let me change the view there. All right, so that's better. Looking good. Better Airways 001 ready for landing. Right, looking good. Very nice approach into Istanbul in Turkey, ladies and gents. And we'll, in a minute here, disconnect the autopilot, hand fly the aircraft. A little bit of wind there. Definitely very windy. All right, 1,000 and autopilot is off my aircraft. Definitely strong winds.
Light slope. 200. Light slope. Light slope. Light slope.
Approaching minimums.
100.
Oof.
Minimums. 50. Minimum. 40.
Throttle.
30.
Throttle.
20. 10.
Auto brake.
Ladies and gents, welcome to Istanbul. Reversers are out. And we've made it. Very, very nice. And let's exit right over here. When the refraction is there, it's very difficult to see the actual taxiways. Yeah, we'll just go for the next one over there. That's fine. And then once we're out, once we exit, we will take a look at the replay. That was a pretty nice landing, and we have Elevetics to analyze our landing as well in just a second here. Yeah, we'll take the next taxiway there. So how did you guys like the landing today? Every time I hear Istanbul, a song gets stuck in my head. Very nice landing. Thank you very much. I am glad you guys liked it. All right, let's turn here left on this taxiway and head over to the main terminal. And we can also retract the flaps. All right, there we go. All right, now that we're outside, we vacated the runway. Let's go ahead and do a replay. Why did nobody? The Turks. All right. Let's take a look. Oof.
Auto brake.
All right, there we go.
Approaching minimum.
Light slope.
All right, and I think right about here is good. There we go.
500.
Let's remove the little thing here. Wow, guys, look at this. Very nice indeed. All right, let's do my favorite replay camera here first. Pretty windy Istanbul this evening. And then we'll do various other replays as well. Bit of a firm landing, if you ask me. Yeah. All right, let's do it again. And this time, we will do this view. How about that? I love the smoothness of X-Plane. Very, very smooth. Not bad. Got your reversers, speed brakes. Beautiful. Look at those lights, guys. The lighting in X-Plane 12 is just amazing. All right, let's do one more time with a wing view. All right, here we go.
Tower, good morning, Italia 4990.
There. Why is it? Oh, I think I
100.
disabled X camera. There we go. Did you see that wing flex? Very, very nice. Look at the details there. The speed brakes deployed. You can see all the details in there as well. Look at that. Look at the details there. Very, very nice indeed. All right. And we'll cancel that. And now we can go to the... We can go to... Was it the brake on or off? Let's see. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and turn on the APU. Right, APU starting, and we can turn off the landing lights. We'll turn on the taxi lights. Strobe lights off. And let's head over to the terminal there. We could actually come over here and park the aircraft since we are in a private jet. It will more than likely not make it to the main terminal. So maybe we can come over here just in the interest of time, unless you guys want to see the main terminal. You know what? Let's go to the main terminal there and take a look. Very nice night lighting as well. All right, so now that we're back we're on the ground. I'm going to change the. There. Now we can see the lighting. Here we can change that too. Let's see here, pedestal, overhead. Yeah, no, that's fine. That is fine. Look at the lighting inside the cockpit and the outside in X-Plane. Just looks really, really nice. Take a look at the cabin in just a second as well. All right, and we'll make a right turn here and go to one of these available gates. Take a look at, I think Elevytics may report data that's not very accurate because of the replay, but that's all right, we'll sort this out. We'll take a look at it in just a second here. Okay. Let's take stand Bravo 14. And we have the marshal out there helping us out. Okay. And parking brake set. Let's turn off the taxi light. Okay. So, now we can kill the engines. Let's leave the engines on for a little bit and let's head over to the cabin. Now, you can see here the beautiful night lighting here in the cabin. And if you come here, so now if I increase the light, you see how the lights are increasing here? And if I bring this down, and you can turn it off completely. So now look at how beautiful this is, and you can do the same thing here. You can see you can increase the brightness of the light here, and all of these lights, by the way, work. So you have one also right there. See, you can for the front there. Very nice light. Look at that. That's nice bluish color there. And now if you go to, for example, let's go to the back here. Right, and here you can actually do the same thing. I think there's some lights from the outside interfering. Yeah, so you can actually change the lighting here as well. Let me show you one of these lights. Maybe this one here. So if I go and add the light, you can see how the brightness increases. See that? Very, very nice. And look at the inlet light here below this table here. Look at how beautiful this is. Just really, really very, very nice. And we can also come over here. Let me see here. All right. So let's do the following. So all these lights. So if I click here, this one is going to turn on those lights. And if I click this and this. That, so this one is turning off all the lights, and I think that from the EFB, yeah, now it's getting really dark because we turned off all the lights, but look at that, look at how beautiful this is now. Very, very nice. So this is maybe for, you know, nighttime, you know, for the passengers to sleep. You can do that. The cockpit lights, of course, always remain, but you can turn all the lights here in the back and make it just look at that. Very, very cool indeed. The glowing is definitely very nice. So we can, again, add a little bit here, there, and right there. And now you can see that the things have changed there in the back. And it looks pretty cool, I have to say. So, again, killing those lights. And how this is how the cockpit looks at night. Okay. So let me go back to the cockpit, and he wants us to kill the engines, so let's do that real quick. We are going to come here and stop the engines. Engines are powering off now. All right. 9-8. That's good enough. And we're going to turn off the red beacon light. And there you have it. You can see the jetway is now moving to connect to the aircraft. We'll change the time here so you guys can, again, see the jetway and how it's moving towards the aircraft. All right, and you have the jetway connected to the aircraft, and now we can begin onboarding the passengers. So if we go to ground services, we can now connect maybe the GPU, and we can open the passenger door, and we can kill the APU now. So we can go to APU control and turn it off, and we have the GPU, so we'll turn that on. And there you have it, ladies and gents. The full experience of the Embraer Lineage 1000 by X-Crafts for X-Plane 12. Let's take a quick look at Helvetics now that we've finished. Ooh, someone has said, let's see, how do you accept the friendships here? Not sure, I'll figure it out later, but let's go to the flight. And we're going to go to our last flight here, which is, let's see here, let's make this a little bigger. All right, so this is where we took off from Sofia in Bulgaria. Let me hop into that so that's not, there we go. Okay, let's go back to Helvetics. Okay, so if we look here at our flight, I think we have all the flight data now. The landing rate was minus 148 FPM, not bad at all, pretty good, I think. The ground speed, 112 when landing, and the G-force was 1.14 Gs, which is not bad. Block time was 1 hour 50 minutes, and the actual flight time was 1 hour and 1 minute. We could have actually cut this down had we flown direct. There was a, you've seen this, how, this, by the way, you can tilt the map, and you can zoom in here a little bit. See, still there is no way to replay what you've done. A feature that I like, but nonetheless you can see your route when you've the color-coded route here indicates where you took off and then you went into cruise. This is the kind of purplish bluish color here, and then it turns back again to green once you land. It will give you the landing report as well here. Minus 148, 112. That's very cool, very, very nice indeed. All right, I think if you go to request, there we go. Goal, it's you. Welcome, my friend. All right, welcome to my friends list on Helvetics. So again, you can see the takeoff time, the block off time. It landed 6:39, so exactly 1 hour 4 minutes. You've got your route. This is the departure weather, the arrival weather. I can put a tag here as well if I wanted to. And you have everything here related to the flight. You can click on Show Statistics. It will show you the CO2 emissions, fuel burned, and reductions in CO2, and fuel saved about 3 pounds. So I did, I guess, some good flying here, and we saved 3 pounds of fuel. So very, very nice, really. And I know from the looks of it that there is a lot more coming to Helvetics in the near future. But that, ladies and gents, is going to really depend on your support. So if you haven't already done so, please download Helvetics and use it. It's free of charge, costs you nothing. And by the way, I'm not their partner. I haven't partnered with them or anything. I just really think they're doing a great service to the community. I want to help them as much as possible. So we try to give them exposure when we can. And I'll definitely put in the word for them. They're creating a beautiful and very useful app for the user community and the flight sim community. So please do help them out, guys. And I will be seeing you guys again either on Saturday or on Sunday. I still am not sure on my schedule this week. It depends on how tiring this week is. Hopefully I can see you guys again on Saturday. If not, Sunday is a definite. But until then, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in, and have a lovely evening. Bye-bye for now.
753 Whiskey, Sierra 3, contact ground, 11.905, bye-bye.
11.905 today, yes, 3,